Okay, so if someone gets your CD physically and they look at the back, you have, obviously you got West Coast Cam, you got Sugar Free. Shout out to Sugar Free, the legend. I need you to help me get connected with him, please.
Sure, I got you.
But then you also have Samuel L. Jackson and the Notorious B.I.G. listed as features.
Yeah.
Explain both.
I just feel like it's always weird when you looking at a track list and then somebody's voice pop up. You're like, who the fuck is that? Mm-hmm. And I just put that there. Like, obviously on Spotify, I didn't try to infringe on their audiences, but I wanted people to know that voice you hear is going to be Biggie's, or this voice is going to be
Samuel L. Jackson,
Martin Luther King, or Samuel L. Jackson, or
that's fair.
Cedric the Entertainer.
You also have the guy who plays Jesus in the music video for
Slink Johnson.
Yeah, shout out to Slink Johnson.
Yeah.
He did a really good job on Freddie Gibbs' album too. He kind of was like he did one of the skits on his album, and he did great on your music video.
Yeah.
What's it say? Something for the bitches.
Something for bitches. Yeah.
Something for the bitches.
Something for bitches. Yeah.
Which is an ode to.
It's weird because there's a
men with bedazzled anklets.
That and just straight men impeding on women's beauty standards in the first place, completely, top to bottom.
I tell them all the time.
Straight men.
Cyrus, my shooter over there, got 2 earrings in.
That, you know what's funny? That 30, 40 years ago, that would have been looked frowned at. 20 years ago, that's normal.
Mm-hmm. When I was growing up, my dad used to always tell me, if you have an earring on a certain side, it meant that you were gay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like the right side.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you have both, it's like what girls do.
Yeah, that's true.
And then
that used to be that way.
That used to be that way. Then R. Kelly kicked that down because he had them things, him and AI. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, this album in general, because listen, man, if y'all don't follow Glasses on Twitter, he's one of the most frustrating, entertaining follows ever. There are very few things that so me and you, it's funny because I'm getting ready to redo the whole set, and a lot of my set is going to be dedicated. I bought a Doggy Style on vinyl, the OG vinyl.
That's good.
And I bought the OG cassette. I have had 3 copies of the CD
That's a
from
good
when I
one.
was a kid.
That's a good one.
But you and I are very aligned with some hip-hop opinions.
Some, very, very some.
And
4 out of 10.
Most of the ones that we're very passionately dug in on have to do with Snoop and have to do with Doggy Style. Because Doggy Style is the most important hip-hop album in my entire life.
Sure. And it's the greatest one of all hip-hop.
And I kind of have like a 3 album where I could be like, this is my GOAT album, right?
Sure.
It's Illmatic, it's Doggy Style, it's probably Get Rich or Die Trying. In any order that those could be 1, 2, or 3 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. But Doggy Style is the most important in my life.
That's fair.
And in my opinion, Snoop Dogg, somehow, while being the most famous rapper in the world, by far,
still underrated.
He's underrated.
Yes, agreed.
How is this a possibility? By the way, my bucket list interview, I hit his guy Kev once a month. And I'm like, dude, I'll go to the...
coming.
It's my bucket list all-time interview. If I can interview Snoop, I might cry because I want to explain to him me getting Doggy Style on accident changed the path of my life. But how is Snoop still underrated?
How does that happen? Well, he's the greatest hip-hop artist of all time, right? But if you favor certain styles, maybe Snoop won't fit that style. So immediately he's from the West, so that's going to immediately take credit from the cornerstone of hip-hop in New York or the East Coast. That's going to be a cornerstone issue that he's not from the East. He's from the West. His style is like a one-off. You know what I mean? To me, it's like a descendant of like Short and LL Cool J. Super smooth. You know what I mean? But you can see he's such a hip-hop kid. Like, first videos, you can see the special ed in his movements, how he moved and how smooth he was. I think the majority of it is, 1, he's from the West Coast and not from the East. 2 would probably be he's alive. He's alive.
That's real shit.
You know what I mean? He's alive. And that's really important, which is even greater because you look at him now and he's probably like still the most recognizable, rapper on the planet.
No, I do say that. I say there's certain artists that if, God forbid, they passed away, would shoot to the greatest of all. And I really think that about Kendrick. Like, I tell people, like, we really kind of don't appreciate Kendrick like we should because if he passed away tomorrow for whatever reason, he's the GOAT. He's at least like solidified in that conversation in the same way we talk about Pac and Biggie.
It's really dope. And I try not to comment on Dot because, Dot is my friend and somebody I love to death.
You guys have done records together?
Way deeper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This nigga really my partner. But it's like he's also a generation under mine. Mm-hmm. So I have to listen to a lot of younger people tell me versus me giving my... Because I have niggas that I'm looking like, Scarface. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, love Scarface, yeah.
It's like, as much as I love Dot, it's like Scarface. You know what I mean? He raised me. Dot is like...
Well, I would just say, because like we put Biggie in certain conversations based on 2 albums. When he was alive, we got 2 albums from Biggie.
That's them albums is shit.
No, those albums are incredible. But what I'm saying is, if you look at just like
if something happened to Dot, it'd be frantic. It'd be frantic. It would probably reshape hip hop at that point permanently.
Yeah. I think unfortunately people sometimes when they leave prematurely, they get appreciated more, and I think we've seen that happen a lot of time and time again over the last decade.
Or their spirit can be free to roam about the cabin.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times we don't get into, like even with Nip, right? I always felt like people look at gangbangers and feel like I can't relate.
Right.
Even though niggas is regular human beings, but they can't relate. And I think it became so important for people to get what he was on when he passed away because it made him mortal.
Right.
People really look at gangbanging like a He-Man sport, like, oh man, if they die, I don't care, or or they can't die, or they did something to die, or they in prison,
Right.
versus some dude just really running a business and having a problem and somebody taking his life. And I think there's nothing more human than that. So I think that's what happened with him.